Hi YouTube, and welcome to my first video. As you can see, I have a 3D printer. Now this is my first 3D printer. Specifically, this is the Bambu Lab P2S, and I went over a lot of options and looked at a lot of areas before I bought this, and that's what this video is going to be about, my thought processes on why I settled on the Bambu P2S. But before I get into that, I want to send a shout out to Jeff King with Den of Tools, Content Coach, 3D Print Rancher. He's got several channels out there. Look him up. He's got some good content out there from what I can see. And I just wanted to give him a thanks for kicking me in the butt with his latest video and getting me started on this road I've been considering for a couple of years. Okay, into the meat of it. The Bambu Lab P2S. Like I said, there are a lot of printers out there that are suitable for beginners, and this is my first 3D printer. I have messed with CNC before. Actually, I have a Langmuir Crossfire Pro plasma table in my garage, so I'm not totally new to that type of making. But yeah, I've been wanting to get one for a long time, and finally decided to pull the trigger. So the main points I was considering was ease of use, price, and longevity of the product. So let's start with the beginning, ease of use. I think anyone will agree that if you're just starting as a newbie in 3D printing, 9 out of 10 people will tell you get a Bambu Labs. The ecosystem is easy to maneuver. You can pull files down and send them straight to your printer. You don't have to do a lot of tweaking. This isn't the old Creality days where you had to basically rebuild your printer just about every time you wanted to print something. Uh, Manually leveling your bed using glass beds. That's all way in the past. The Bambu Labs, you basically take them out of the box, you unpackage them, which, believe me, that is the longest process, and you plug them in, turn them on. They calibrate themselves. You press the print button, and it goes. And as my lovely assistant up here is showing you, my first print was obviously a Benchy, and honestly, this Benchy, out of all the ones that I have seen being printed on YouTube, I am extremely impressed with this. The layer lines, the overhangs, particularly in this window, I've seen, I don't know how many drooping fiber filaments right here in the edge of these doors here. And it's just amazing. But that just shows how easy this is to use. Now, cost, there are cheaper printers out there. There are even cheaper Bambu printers out there. But for the combo, for the benefits, for the capabilities it provides, $800 is, in my opinion, a screaming deal. Are there comparable printers in that price range? Yes, there are even some that have more advanced features. The Cheaty Q2 with the Cheaty box comes to mind. The Crealities, some of the K2 Plus, maybe, I guess. But honestly, those printers don't have the track record. Cheaty has been using, from what I can tell, their early adopters as beta testers. And that is not something I wanted to get into. Now, if that's something that you enjoy doing and you want all the extra features you get for the money, and you don't mind screwdrivering your computer, wrenching on it, go for it. All for it. In fact, the Cheaty Q2, after they get some more mileage under their wheels, that might be something that I would look at as a second printer, just because of the higher print temperatures and like that. but for the price of what you get, um, this one to me really spoke to me. And that leads me into my third point, which is longevity. I could have gotten a Bambu Labs A1. I would still got the Bambu Labs ecosystem. I would have gotten all of the Bambu Lab features, but there are several things about that printer I did not want to get into, or did not want to deal with the limitations. One, it's a bed slinger, and from everything I've heard, once you get into prints that are getting so high up on the bed, you start running into issues of them coming loose because the bed's moving back and forth. Also, it's not an enclosed printer, so engineering materials, which is something I want to get into eventually, is off the table. Now, when the X1 Carbon come out years ago, I seriously looked at getting one of those, but at the time, I couldn't afford it. I couldn't justify the price for it just to get into it. But it was extremely fascinating, and I've watched many videos. Clow42, YouTube channel, James Clow, did a couple of excellent videos on actually all of the H series printers from Bambu Labs, and I've watched every one of them multiple times. In fact, the H2C, if I could swing the money, right now is my front runner for a multicolor low purge waste printer, because it offers all the capabilities of a tool head switcher with limitations, obviously, because it's not actually switching the entire tool head. So it does go through a whole rigmarole for changing out the nozzles and things. But it offers the advantage of you can hook up an AMS to it, and each nozzle can print multiple colors. Now, yes, you will go through the purge waste, but it greatly expands your capabilities. So that's on my short list. But as far as why I got the P2S, I couldn't afford the H2C or the H2S for that matter, although it was close. I almost sprung for the H2S over the P2S, but I decided to okay, well, lessons learned. This is my first video, obviously, and using earbuds for your microphone doesn't work when you get a phone call. It mutes it. So the audio after this point of the video just went out. So I'm re-recording. Take 3. When I started that second segment, my Audible started playing in my ear, so I figured it muted the video again. No, the audio was still there. So when you see me get up in that last segment, that's what I was doing, was going to restart the video. Found out the audio was still there. So anyway, first video jitters, right? So back to what I was saying in the very first recording. The H series is out of my price range. There are a lot of printers that are technically out of my price range. The Snapmaker, it's actually only a little more than this, but it was lacking some capabilities, even though it added some. I could get multicolor with this. I can add more AMSs. I can actually have more colors than what the Snapmaker can handle. Now, that's at the cost of purge waste, obviously. But the Snapmaker might be a second printer for me to add to the capabilities. But it's still early days for the Snapmaker, even though what I've seen is pretty impressive of it. The Prusa line, I'm really interested in the Bondtech index system. And since Prusa is the first commercial printer company that has licensed it, I'm watching that real close too. But since they've not hit the market yet, or at least if they have, I haven't seen any videos on it.
I'm not diving into that yet. I'm not an early adopter. I can't afford to be. I'm working on a pretty strict budget, not overly strict, but strict enough that I can't afford to put money into a system that just doesn't have any mileage yet. So it all come down to price for ability, and the H2S, which is the next one up on the list as far as what I was considering, mostly offered a larger build bed, build plate, and I think it offered a heated chamber too, which would have been a bonus, but I can live without that for now. As I get my feet wet into printing, I mean, it might be a little bit before I really start getting into the nylons and other ones. I do have a roll of ABS. I did buy a whole lot of filament when I bought the printer, with the printer, which pretty much made up the difference between the price of this and the price of the H2S. Was I ordered like 15 rolls of filament, but Bambu Lab was having a sale where you order 14 rolls and you get 40% off, which brought it down to like $11, $12 a roll, and I couldn't pass that up. So I'm rambling now, but anyway, the P2S, capability for the money, absolutely hit it out of the park. I'm loving it so far. I have, let's see, how many hours do I have on this booger here? I know it shows it somewhere. You know, I don't know how to find that on here yet. I will find it eventually. But anyway, it's been running. I've had it almost a week now. Be a week tomorrow, and it's been running almost nonstop between me and my youngest son. We've pretty much been running it ragged. I've got parts here for a heat insert press that I'll do a video on, at least the assembly of it, plus talk about what I think of it after I get it done. I've got parts here for a purge waste. Fairly unique situation. I got this offline. I did this through Maker Lab. I found this part I found through a Maker Lab parametric file that lets you do a Y splitter. So I got a 2.5 to a 4, and that's gonna wind up being a whole thing. I'll explain more of that when I do the actual video on it. I've got parts here for a 270 hinge for the P2S. Actually, after using the P2S, I'm not sure I'm going to use this right now, because with the ventilation for the PLA that's already built into it, you don't have to open the door in the top, which is the reason most people want to be able to swing the door all the way back so it's out of the way. But the only time I open the door is to get prints in and out, and then I close it right back up. So I'm not even sure I'm going to put that on. Anyway, those are all future videos. They will be coming. And I'm loving it so far. Like I said, been running nonstop for a week, and had a few bed adhesion issues I'll go into in more detail at another time. We have been printing the absolute crap out of the dummy 13s. We're in love with these things. They are extremely cool. Oh, and if you are interested in stop motion animation or just cool nerdy stuff in general, Animation Break is a YouTube channel, and they do I've seen a stop motion animation he did using the dummy 13s, and it's pretty cool. So look that up, check it out. All right, that's all for this one. My thoughts on the P2S, as rambling as they are, and we'll see you next time. Like and subscribe, and check me out. Laters.